Right on, Ashley. Thanks for the invite and for everyone attending. We do realize a lot of people are out actually doing stuff today, like seating. So we're going to keep this nice, super short that it can allow Ashley to archive it and put it up on the YouTube channel. Any questions at any point, whether it's live or later on, you can reach out to either Ashley or myself, and we'll take care of you with your questions. I'm just going to show you really quick how our system works. What we're really trying to do with Open Farm Days is we want more people to get off their butts and come see your farm, learn a little bit about why you do it, how things get from the farm to the grocery store. I personally feel like it's important that kids understand how this stuff works, and getting out to the farms on Open Farm Days weekend is a really cool way to do it. So what we're doing with Ashley, which you probably would have seen through a few emails, is we have your information about where your farm is and the days and times you're going to have people on site. I'm going to show you a couple examples that we've already set up for some of the farms. We're working our way through getting those set up. And basically what's going to happen is people are going to come to the Open Farm Days website. They're going to be excited to come to one or more farms on the weekend. What we normally see, because we've done this in Alberta with a very similar sort of setup, what we see is families get excited to build a little roadmap, a little road trip, sorry, for their weekend or for their Saturday afternoon. So we're going to take your information, we're going to put it in our system. What people are going to do is come to the website that Ashley has set up. They're going to pick their farms. They're going to see a link that's going to go off to our website. We're an online ticketing platform. There's no cost to use this. We're doing this with Open Farm Days with you guys. What we really want to do is we want to let you guys know how many people are coming. Where they're coming from is pretty cool and pretty important. So having that postal code that they're going to put in when they're getting their tickets, even though they're free, gives you some really valuable information after the weekend is over. Are you going to be scanning tickets and stuff like that? I don't think you need to do that. That's something you can do if you want to do it. But really, at the end of the day, we're trying to get people excited to get out of their houses, off the couches, over to your farm. And we're the little piece in the middle, the little bit of tech in between. So I'm just going to show you a couple of quick things on how it works. You don't have to remember all this. We're going to be around the whole time, Jeremy and I, as people start getting their tickets and getting excited to come to your farms on the weekend. We'll be around making sure everyone understands how it's going to work, but it's very straightforward. So let me just share my screen here. So right here, I'm just logged into the FrontDoor Plus system. In this case, if you were just a regular user of our system, you'd have your own account. But what we've done is all the farms are going to be under one account, very easy for us to manage with Ashley and make it easy for her to keep any information up to date if it's changing at any time. You can see we have some of the farms set up here. We're going to have all of the farms. We have all your information, so don't worry if you're not on this list. You're going to be on the list eventually. All the farms are going to be set up here with the specific dates and times that you've shared with Ashley, and then I'm going to show you how people go to get their tickets, their free pass to come to your farm. We're just going to take we'll go with Backroads Ranch as an example here. I'm going to click in through here. You don't have to worry about any of this. This is all going to be done together with myself, Ashley, and Jeremy. So I'm just showing you sort of behind the scenes how this is going to work out. Going to go grab this link right here and visit this. So this page here is what the public is going to see when they go to the Open Farm Days webpage. They decide they want to come to your farm. They're going to come to a page like this. It looks like you're just getting tickets like any other type of event, except these are going to be free tickets. They can read a little bit about Open Farm Days. We're going to massage this wording a little bit, but basically every farm is going to have this information on their buy page, their place to get tickets. And the goal here is to really convince people to come out to your farm. They're going to click Get Tickets. In this case, for these folks, they're open both Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4. So if I'm going to get 2 tickets, let's say to Saturday, my wife and I are going to come out. We're going to grab these tickets, hit continue. There's no payment. There's no dollar value, but we are grabbing a little bit of information about the person when they check out, and that's really key to know where people are coming from. It helps Ashley and her team help you guys out, knowing that they actually drew people in from outside of the wherever you are in Saskatchewan. So it's really neat to have that information. When I hit complete order as a ticket buyer, I'm going to get an email that's very clear that I have 2 tickets to come to the farm, when I can come to the farm. And then what's going to happen on that Saturday that I bought my tickets for is they're going to show up because there's a QR code, there's an actual ticket in the email. They're going to want to show it to you. But really, at the end of the day, you're just trying to get people to buy in to come, so you know how many people are coming, and that you have a little bit of information about them, so you don't have to scan the tickets as if you were a concert. You just want to know that people signed up and said they're coming, especially if you have any restrictions in the number of people. Um, let's say this farm for some reason can only have 50 people on Saturday, then we can limit that number down to 50 and only 50 tickets can be purchased. So it's partly to limit if you need limits on the number of people that come, but really what we're trying to do is stoke people into to coming out. So getting the tickets easy, and then showing them at the farm gates when they show up. That's basically it in a nutshell, is being able to predict who's coming, getting a little bit of information about them. And really, what we're doing is we're giving a tool set to Ashley and her team to help promote this across social media and a bunch of places to tell the world in Saskatchewan, hey, come out to our farms. This is going to be a really great experience. If any of the farms want to do paid events, that's something we can help you with as well. I'll just give you an example. In Alberta, the farms were set up exactly like this, what we've set up here. A couple wanted to do paid tours, so they charged $20 for a hayride tour that was on top of the open farm days things. If that's something you want to do, that's something we can talk about on the side and get you all set up. Jeremy and I take care of you. But really, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do, like I said, is get people off their bums and out to your farms, to take a look at where our food actually comes from. This is very important to tell people this. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Actually, I don't know if I missed anything that
Yeah,
from
I
what
think
you want
that's
to let
great.
people know.
I think the one thing to mention too is if they wanted to have specific like hourly, so if they have a farm tour at like 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. that they want to have guests on, what's really nice is we can segment those out as so that people can say, okay, I want to come for the 11 a.m. farm tour at farm A and then farm B. Oh, it's 30 minutes down the road and I can go
Yeah.
to this one too. So it just helps that consumer better understand the opportunity to go to multiple places to kind of just grasp the concept of open farm days because we've kind of had a few consumers just be kind of confused on what that they can go to a farm. But
Yeah.
the other note on that too is that on open farm days weekend, I will be sending every morning. I'll send it the day before, like the Thursday, Friday, I'll send you an update on how many people are at each one. But then morning of, I'll also send updates as well. So you have a good idea as to how many people are coming, and you're prepared and ready. Because I think that's the biggest question every farm asks me in their host profile is how many people should I expect?
Yeah.
So being able to have a good idea, we'll be able to do that. And also, if you have any questions on building your itinerary and building that out for the day, the more information you can put in there, the better. If you have um, even different experiences throughout the day that you want to have a cap at a certain amount of people for the morning and for the afternoon, things like that. We can work through that to make sure that it's really helping you gauge how many people you want on site at a time, as well as if you need to bring in help or whatever that might be. We're happy to kind of iron that out and get that figured out. So I think it's going to be a great tool for this year and really seamless. Like it's going to flow right into our Open Farm Days website, which is great, so that it auto populates into their email and they'll be ready to come and check it out on August 8th and 9th.
Well, that's a really good point, Ashley, too, about some farms will just want to know like 8 to 4 when people are coming. Like you can come between 8 and 4, and then others like to really, if it's more customized or there is restrictions, they will break it down into there's a 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 4. And so we can help you. You're going to get the login information to go in and look at this stuff, but at the same time, Ashley, myself, and Jeremy, we can help manage this information for you. It's very straightforward. What we saw in using Alberta as an example, the first year it was a pretty good adoption from the public. And then the second and third year, once people get used to this is open farm days, this is what I'm doing, you see the adoption rate really increase to the point where some of the farms were hitting their max and people were really excited. And now like the Charlotte Farms group in Alberta. They're known in this weekend. Like it becomes a really cool destination thing where if part of what you're trying to do is get the word out about your farm, this is one of the best ways to do it, is have people come on site and actually see you, see the humans and see if there's animals, the animals or whatever's happening at the farm is the number one way to make some fans if that's something you're trying to do outside of educating people.
Yeah, and one other thing I was going to mention too, Chatsworth is a really good example because they're up in Vermilion and they have a Facebook event as a part of their Open Farm Days promotion. So they do a bit of self-promotion as well. And with that, they actually link their tickets directly through their Facebook too. So you'll be able to use the link for the tickets and your Open Farm Day host profile directly over to your Facebook. So it's all kind of interconnecting everything, which is really nice. And it makes it really seamless for people to all get the information at the same spot, which is really cool. So it's exciting to
I
see.
meant, what's crazy is that's who I meant to mention, but I said Charlotte. Charlotte
Oh,
is the person
Charlotte
that
is the
does.
person, but it's Chatsworth. That's so funny. I was like, I haven't seen Charlotte Farms, but I know
Yeah, yeah, no,
Chatsworth. So
that's
that's
no, that's
great.
Charlotte at Chatsworth. So, but
Yeah.
that's an amazing example of taking social media and actually getting the word out about the farm, what they do, how they like. She does an amazing job of just showing what they get up to. So, what part of this of supporting you and your farms. Jeremy and I are going to watch social media, and if there's any sort of tips and tricks that we can give back to you guys, we're going to do that. That's just part of what we do. Just being one of the owners of this company, it's really important that people try out technology. That maybe this is not your forte, and so we're here to try to help out. And if we can do a little part in helping out with Open Farm Days, I think that's really cool for just doing good things for the community.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I really appreciate the help on that one. And what I'll do too is I will summarize everything into an email, and I'll send everything out for folks, some tips and tricks, those kinds of things. It'll come out in the next Open Farm Day host email. And then I'll also leave that on the website as well as a new tab under the host resources page so that we all have all that information at our fingertips. So if there are any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime and we'll go from there.
Perfect. And it won't take us very long. Actually, we'll have all the other farms set up, and then we can do a review and just make sure the timings and everything are set up for the farms. But we it won't take us very long, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. Thank you.